Okay, Ryan, we are back. We have just watched the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer and one half of one hell of a football game. So
It's
let's
it's
go.
anyone's ball game right now. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
which team's gonna win.
yeah. Or which teams are playing. But okay, let's talk about this Season 3 Mandalorian trailer, Ryan.
hmm
I kind of want to go through it a little bit and look at some of the key moments. But what are your what's your overall takeaway? Did it hype you up? Are you excited? Did you enjoy it? What's up, Ryan?
It was fine.
Oh,
It. I mean, honestly, it was like a bunch of footage. We've already seen. And then saying this is the way twice in a minute and 45 seconds, and
okay. I should have let off because I thought this trailer whipped ass. I thought it was
uh,
awesome. I thought it was
eh,
really fun.
it's fine.
I
It's
mean,
whatever.
uh, yeah. Wow, man. Come on. We saw some Jedi in the trailer. That was crazy. I hadn't seen that before. I saw
You've
Doctor,
never
whatever his
seen a
name is.
Jedi before?
No, first time. I saw Doctor, whatever his name is, in a
Uh-huh.
speeder in Coruscant. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, looking extremely green screened.
Well, I do think
Wasn't that jarring
some
to
of the
you?
special effects, yeah, there was a few special effects that looked slightly less than finished, I would say.
Yeah.
I hope, anyways, because there's a couple shots that looked pretty rough. Like the N1 Starfighter landing at one point didn't look really that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor on Coruscant looked pretty rough. And then also that last shot of Grogu when he did the force push thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was the special effects or if it was like the camera movement,
Uh,
and I don't even know
Yeah.
if it really was camera movement or if that was like an editing thing, but like it kind of pushed in on Grogu and it didn't look very good
It
either.
it was like the way it was cut. That was like really weird.
Yeah.
I thought like I don't know if that was supposed to like be funny or like what they were going for with that.
Well, I almost wonder, and I think this is wishful thinking, but I almost wonder if that was like something they did for the trailer. Like cuz it almost seemed like it was not a an actual camera movement or a camera zoom, but
Mhm.
almost like in the editing software they just like zoomed in, you know what I'm saying, or something.
Yeah.
Um but like I said, I mean that's probably the final shot and I'm just like, whatever, but maybe
Yeah.
in context it'll look better
Yeah.
or maybe not. But okay, well let's go through it, Ryan. I mean,
Mhm.
we won't spend like a ton of time maybe going through it. I'll
Yeah.
try not to because we don't want to sort of talk about like our anticipation for the show, etc. But let's just go through it like a little bit at least. So, a couple lines of dialogue here that may give us some insight into what the show's about. It opens up with Din saying, "Our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy or stars in the sky," and then he asks, "Who are we and what do we stand for?" And comes out of a cave. And my son Elliot was like, "Whoa, is he like in charge of the Mandalorians now?"
Mhm.
Which I don't know. He might be. Um, People who know Mandalorian history and helmets better could probably tell me why the two there have those like white kind of Star Wars Rebels looking helmets. Like they're probably part of a different sect or group or something. But those look
Mhm.
pretty cool. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean there were like some different looking Mandalorians there. I think it
Mm-hmm.
probably is like the different factions and stuff. It's weird though, like with all this Mandalorian stuff here at the beginning. Um we didn't see Bo-Katan at all in this trailer, and she was in like she seemed to be like a huge part of the last trailer.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Um, Maybe this is the Monday Night Football trailer. Maybe this one's maybe like trying to be more general audience. You know what I mean?
Men, it's more for men.
Well,
Like,
or just not nerds. Like I don't know, like the previous trailer was from Star Wars Celebration kind of, and then they just sort of dropped it on YouTube or whatever, which
mhm,
hey, YouTube is for everyone, right? Like everybody uses YouTube, so it's not like it's some niche platform or something, but I'm just saying that
yeah,
like that was, I also think like when you get, now they're in the 6-week push. And I remember this from other Star Wars projects and TV shows and stuff. Like once you get to the 6-week mark
Mm-hmm.
or the 4-week mark or something like that, that's when like the PR like push is like consistent. Like we'll start to see magazine interviews and TV interviews and like different stories and stuff popping up in different online outlets, and they'll be like
Mm-hmm.
pushing it from here until when the
The
show comes out.
30-second TV spots with like 3 seconds of new footage each time.
That'll be part of it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think like when you get to that state, that's when they're marketing to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 6 months out, I think you're marketing to like the hardcore and the faithful, you know, people who like, I feel like normal people don't really want to like start thinking about a show they're going to watch 6 months ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But somebody who's like real deep into it, then, you know, obviously we do. So
Yeah,
I
I
would
just thought
imagine.
that she was going to be like a central part of the story.
Well, she might be, but I think she
Yeah.
probably will be actually. In fact, I'm sure she will be, but I just don't know if like that's easy to convey to. I mean, it's not like it's not like I'm like, oh, no way would I put Bo-Katan in the trailer for normies, you know? I mean, why not? But I'm just trying to understand, or you know, maybe make some sense of the fact of why she's not in it, and that seems like one possible reason. But
Yeah.
or maybe they cut her. Maybe she's out. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. Um, there's very little, like they don't really show villains at all in this, you know, and I think she might be kind of a villain, an antagonist, so maybe that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. From there, we see a lot of sweet N1 starfighter footage in the trailer, but we see some N1 starfighter footage, and the next line says, "Being a Mandalorian's not just learning about how to fight." Specifically with Grogu looking around in awe and wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And Din says, "You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy." And at that point, there's Grogu's in his lap. It's very cute. They're kind of holding hands a little bit, um, and cruising through hyperspace there. So, hey, it's not just about learning how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy.
Yeah. That way you'll
He's gonna
never
be a
be
dad.
lost.
Yeah, that way you'll never be lost. That's exactly right. Then we get some Kowakian monkey lizards. I'm offended by the YouTube caption here. It says tree lizard. It's referring to the Kowakian monkey lizard as a tree lizard. I don't think so.
Yeah, and it was capitalized too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
like a proper noun in the subtitles.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
like that's canon now.
Hey, have you ever wanted to see the N1 starfighter in the rain? Because there's some cool shots of the N1 starfighter in the rain here. We see the armorer again, and Din tells her, "I'm going to Mandalore." Grogu makes a noise, but he says, "I'm going to Mandalore, so I may be forgiven for my transgressions." I think that line was in the previous trailer, right?
Yeah, and that shot of like the burned out city.
Yeah. Another funny moment for me, because I was watching this. I watched it by myself. Like I actually, it was well timed on my part because I was watching Monday Night Raw, as I said I would be, and then I kept like looking on my phone to see like how much time was left in the game until halftime or whatever, and I saw that it was halftime, so I switched over, and a commercial ended. They came back from commercial, and they immediately showed the trailer. So like, wow. I flipped over to. You would need cable. I think it was on ESPN2, but I flipped over for the first time all night, maybe 10 seconds before the trailer started. So the Force was with me on that one. Yeah. But anyway, so I watched it once by myself, and then I watched it with my wife and my kids. And when we got to that part, I was like, "Oh, that's Mandalore." And Elliot's like, "I thought Mandalore was destroyed." But like, look at that shot. It's like, yeah, it's clearly it's destroyed. So I don't know. That was interesting. But yeah, cool shot. Nothing new. We do have, this is new though. There's a Din. It looks like Din is getting an astromech droid. For the, you don't care about that? What? I just dropped a major bombshell, Ryan. Din is getting an astromech droid.
He's not droid racist anymore.
No, that was the big reveal at the end of season 1, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With IG-11.
Yeah.
He loved that
Is
guy.
that an R5 droid? Is that what that is? Is that an R5 droid? These are the things you're supposed to know
I
if
don't
you
know.
have a Star Wars podcast. I don't even know if you're allowed to have a Star Wars podcast if you don't know that. I think it's an R5 droid.
Yeah.
Pelimoto, may the force be with
Mhm.
you. Great
Mhm.
line. I've heard that one before.
Fireworks.
This is the way. Fireworks. I like that shot of the fireworks. I want to know what that's about.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought that shot was cool. And I can't tell what city that is or like what planet that is.
mm,
I don't know. But I like that shot.
yeah.
I like that idea. Some space fireworks.
Mhm.
And then we get a little quote from Carson Teva and
Mhm.
this was maybe like the standout line in the trailer for me. Carson Teva says, "There's something dangerous happening out there, and by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it will be too late." Whoa.
Mhm.
What do you think that might be referencing, Ryan? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Snoke. I don't know.
Well,
The First Order. Um,
yeah. No, that's what I think, actually.
yeah. No, I mean, but like how I no, I think it's like because I think we're still too far away from that probably. Um, it's probably like I don't know. Is it like Thrawn's
Oh, I
thing?
guess it could be Thrawn. I don't know. Um, I'm gonna say the First Order. I think like not the First Order as it exists in the sequel trilogy, but
Mm-hmm.
some component of it because like it was being developed for a long time before they like revealed themselves or whatever, right?
I would. I'd have to go back to like what was that?
Aftermath.
Bloodline and Aftermath, like,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Does that all kind of like change with the Rise of Skywalker, knowing that it's like Palpatine and the Final Order and stuff? Like, is that part of everything now?
Mm, I don't think so because the First Order was a contingency plan of Palpatine, anyways, right? So it's like, I mean, I guess maybe it kind of changes in the sense that like you think the First Order is the end all be all, but there's actually like another component to the First Order, like
Mm-hmm.
waiting in the wings or whatever. But I don't think it would like change it otherwise. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, because like I just I don't know. Well, I guess it'll be interesting to see what that is. I just feel like they defeated the Empire. Carson Teva is a representative of the Republic, right? And like the
So he
threat
probably
to the
like
Republic.
has an ear to the ground, like he knows some things.
Yeah, and just like I just feel like there can't be some other big threat to the Republic besides the First Order. I mean, even if it's Thrawn would be like a remnant of the Empire, and like that's what the First Order is like a remnant, or like the survivors of the. I mean, the First Order is just an extension of the Empire, right? Like really. So
Yeah.
whether it would be called the First Order or not, I would feel like Carson Teva would be warning about um, Imperial forces or survivors or something like that.
Yeah. So okay. So now like I'm trying to like actually think of like I kind of have like a feel for the plot, which we've known this stuff since the celebration reveal, but um so Din is going to Mandalore for the first time. He's never been there. He's going there. Mandalore's destroyed. He's talking to other like scattered Mandalorians about like our our people are scattered, aimless, whatever. Is is his goal to like reestablish a Mandalorian society on Mandalore? Is that
I don't know. I doubt that he would be trying to lead that necessarily. Um, but
that
I could
seems to be what
see.
this is implying though?
I don't know. Because it also just says like he tells the armorer, "I'm going back there to like make up for what I did or to be purified or whatever." Like she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "You're Mandalorian no more,"
Right.
in the previous season or in Book of Boba Fett or whenever
Oh
it
yeah,
was. And so,
that's yeah.
so I think his goal is to be accepted back into the fold. I don't think at this point he would be like, not only am I a Mandalorian, I want to be the leader of the Mandalorians. You know what I mean? And he even tried to give, or what? Wait, he doesn't have the darksaber anymore, does he?
No,
Does he
because
have it or not?
doesn't
Bo-Katan have it?
I don't remember.
Dude, we
I don't
cannot have a Star Wars podcast. Somebody needs to
know.
take this away from us.
Yeah.
Um, who? Google that, Ryan. Who's got it? Who's got the dark saber? I know he tried to give it to her. No. He had it in Book of Boba Fett. Remember, he pulled it out and like the John
He's
Favreau tried to duel him for it, right?
oh yeah. Yeah? I don't know.
Oh boy. All right. Well, anyway, I don't think he thinks he's going to be the leader of Mandalore. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
It's just weird because like this like that stuff all kind of like made sense in the previous preview. But then like this one just opens with like our people are scattered and then he's like hanging out with all these like weird Mandalorians.
Yeah, but there's like 5 of them and they came out of a cave. You know what I mean? I think like what
Yeah.
he even like in season 1, they're like, well, we used to be proud and now we have to like basically hide underground, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So to me that tracks, like, because they still don't seem like they're, I mean, they seem like they're out in the middle of nowhere, a handful of them. That's
Yeah.
not, you know, compared to Mandalore, the planet, like teeming with Mandalorians and, you know, them being one of the most powerful sort of, I guess, groups in the galaxy. And now they're like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, I guess it's safe to pop our head out of this cave right now. And, you know, like there's a whole 4 or 5 of us here. I don't know. It's not like some impressive thing, you know?
But like is he like seeking them out though? That's more of what I'm thinking. Like or did he
Mm.
just like, "Oh, funny meeting you guys here. I was also in this cave."
Yeah, I don't know. Cause like if he's trying to go to, like, who knows he, what his journey is to get to Mandalore, or who he's got to talk to, or if he's, you know, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good question. But I mean, he probably won't just hop in the N1 Starfighter and just fly straight there. Or, you know, I mean, there's probably some, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Can you okay, can you just find Mandalore? Like can you just like go there or is there going to be like some some like secret to finding it or something?
I would think that you could. I mean, people
Yeah.
knew where it was before. I don't think it was any secret, you know, like in
Okay.
Rebels, they just go there, no problem, right? Like, um,
Okay.
so yeah, I don't think it's not like Exegol where you have to have the
You got
Wayfinder
to
and
have that wayfinder, yeah.
yeah,
Or like Camino or something. I don't know if it's like
right.
cuz yeah, like the it's just I don't know. I mean this is a trailer. Like it's not supposed to tell us how everything happens, but it's just like does he just be like, "Okay, all right, time to go. Like I packed my snacks. Let's go."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Well,
it'll just
and
be
who's there when he gets there? Who's there on Mandalore? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, is there somebody who's going to try to stop him from doing whatever he wants to do when he gets there? And also, like, what's the deal with Bo-Katan? Because
Mhm.
even if those Mandalorians are with him, I feel like I don't know that they're all going to be with him, or that they're all going to, you know what I mean? Like, so there's probably going to be some conflict there too. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But you know, back to the line about uh, Carson Teva warning him like that there's something evil out there. What was it? Something dangerous. Um,
Mhm.
and that it's going to be too big to do anything about it once, you know, people recognize it or whatever the line was.
Mhm.
Um, that is like part of one of the things we see as that line is being delivered or placed in the trailer is the clone doctor um,
Mhm.
in the speeder in Coruscant. So, you know, I mean, there may be a correlation there too, right? Like First Order, cloning, Snoke in a vat. You know, I'm not saying like we're
Mhm.
going to see Snoke or like this Snoke thing, but like that all. I mean, that's one thing that's going on in both the Mandalorian and in Bad Batch is some like they're dropping in additional information about that whole process,
Mhm.
like, and I think even there was talk after season 1 or before season 1 about how, well, yeah, this show may reveal a little bit about the development of the First Order or whatever. So I think that all kind of seems, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like a major focus, but, or like a huge component, but it seems like yeah, like it could be going in that direction.
A little bit of dark science cloning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets only the Sith knew.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be into that. Mm-hmm. Oh, then we see Din lifting this like ancient this ancient Mandalorian helmet out of the sand or the dirt or whatever. That looks pretty cool. And then one of the most surprising shots, or actually, I'm not going to say one of the most surprising shots, hands down, by far the most surprising shot of the trailer is a group of Jedi with their lightsabers drawn in a temple, in a Jedi temple, um, heading towards a door. What's happening with that door? Is that door being like cut open, like somebody's forcing their way into the temple? Are we thinking that's Order 66, or like what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I like this wasn't really surprising to me. I feel like this is some, I don't know, like, because there's this shot of like Grogu looking introspective, and then it cuts to like this shot of like Jedi in action in a Jedi temple. Like, I assume that's like Grogu's Order 66 moment.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But like going into a Mandalorian trailer, I did not expect to see Jedi in it. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. We've never seen Jedi in the Mandalorian before, have we?
Did you
I mean,
see the
besides
last
Luke.
episode of season 2 in that episode?
Yeah,
Those episodes of Book of Boba Fett
yeah. Okay,
and
Luke
and
Skywalker
and
Luke Skywalker
Ahsoka.
in the current timeline. Ahsoka is Jedi no more, or whatever.
Uh,
I don't know what she said.
yeah,
I am no Jedi.
yeah.
Yes, okay, but what I'm saying is like we've never seen like the Jedi, like the organization, the Jedi Order. Like I would not expect to see. I wouldn't have expected to see uh, a group of Jedi.
I think it's
Because like
all like intrinsically tied now after we got like Grogu's origin story from Ahsoka.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like it's just kind of part of it now. So yeah, I don't know. Unless
yeah.
it's like
Okay,
something like way different and like that's like a swerve of some sort. That just seems like what it is to me.
no, no, yeah, 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 yeah. I think that totally makes sense. Very logical, but I still, for me, like I was like a holy shit moment. Like, whoa, I did not expect to see Jedi in the trailer. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, you can tell right away that it's not like current timeline. It's definitely in the past.
it's like foggy
So
kind of. Yeah,
well, and just like the look, like the costumes and like the look of the temple and everything. That's like not post Empire. That's definitely or prequel era for sure. So
yeah,
um, or it could be older than prequel era. But yeah, I'm sure it's Order 66. That's a good point. Good point.
yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, all right. Well, sold the Jedi. I was pretty hyped on the Jedi. Got some TIE
you were
fighters
you were
chasing
hyped on those. What did we call them like a couple of years ago?
Jedi
The
Dans. Jedi
Jedi
Dans.
dance, because they're
Jedi
totally
Dance.
Jedi dance. They're like the
Yes.
red shirts of Jedi.
Yep. Jedi Dans.
Jedi dance. Yeah.
And is this? I think this is Din being chased here. Although I'm not positive because it's like it might not actually. I think that might be Bo-Katan's ship. Now that I say that, it's not the M1 Starfighter. I'm pretty sure it's not
No,
the M1 Starfighter.
it's like wider.
Is that Bo-Katan's ship? I forget what her ship looks like, but I think that could be it.
Maybe.
I don't even know if Din has the Darksaber or not, so I probably am not going to identify this. What kind of ship this is?
Is Bo-Katan still alive at this point? Is she even like in this show? Did we just imagine that?
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Cool to see though. Check this shot out, like in the bar with all the droids. It's like a droid bar.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, like Wuru or whatever that bartender's name is in a New Hope. They have to stay outside. We don't serve their kind here.
Mm-hmm.
Was his name like Waru or it starts with a W, but anyway, this is like his nightmare because it's all
Yeah.
droids in this place. That's it. And it's cool to see astromech droids and B1 battle droids
Yeah.
and kind of looks like that Ralph McQuarrie C3PO concept
Uh-huh.
style droid over there. And yeah, just a lot of different types of droids mixing it up
Yeah.
in this droid bar. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
getting like
like
scandalous oil baths in there or whatever.
battle droids at like a table at a bar is just kind of great imagery. Like,
right.
I mean, this is probably my favorite shot from the trailer, I guess.
Uh, uh,
It's just silly and fun.
and then we get the cool footage of the Mandalorians dropping out of the ship into the city, into the battle.
Yep.
This is the city or planet where the Quakian monkey lizards were. See a bunch of them together there. Is that Heavy, the Heavy guy, like the one that they had the Best Buy? John Favreau. Is that the one that he was mad at in Book of Boba Fett? I think it might be. Can't tell for sure. But pretty sweet scene. We get two Babu Fricks.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually called Anzellans, I guess. Anzellans, but the Babu Frick species. So that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final segment of the trailer is this shot of this space werewolf. Or well, we already have a space werewolf in Star Wars, so I guess it's not that. But whatever this thing is, it looks kind of like a space werewolf, threatening Grogu, and then Grogu sends him flying, and there's that really awkward camera movement as it is revealed that it was Grogu using the Force and sending that dude flying.
Yeah. And
got
another this is the way, just like
well, you
in
can't.
there for fun.
Yeah, can't have too many of those. Grogu looks altogether weird in this shot. Like he looks high as hell. His ears are super back. Like he looks weird.
It's like we have to give one of my cats daily medicine so she doesn't throw up, and when it she kind of makes this face
Yeah.
after we give her the medicine.
Yeah, he's even got his hand in perfect position to Photoshop in like a big blunt or something there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm way too sophisticated to do something like that. But I'm just saying,
it'll happen.
Yeah.
With or without you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, that is it. So yeah, so that's the trailer. Does it provide us a little more insight into where the season is going? I don't know.
Not really.
Not too much. Not too much. I think the stuff with the clone doctor is pretty intriguing. I think Carson Teva saying like there's something super dangerous on the horizon, and by the time you take it seriously or do something about it, it's gonna be too late. I think that's pretty interesting. I popped for the Jedi dance, but I guess like we already decided that's not really significant. But yeah, I guess it doesn't provide too much new in terms of like the direction the show is going in overall, but you know, kind of doubles down on a lot of what we had seen in the previous trailer and in the celebration footage. So why don't we kind of wrap up the show here by sort of discussing our anticipation level for the show and like what we'd like to see from Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this really moved the needle for me. It maybe actually like kind of pushed the needle a little bit backwards. For me, I think like what I was most intrigued about is not like the Mandalore stuff in like a general sense. Like, but I think honestly it's like the Bo-Katan stuff. I think she is, a pretty compelling character in the context of the Mandalorian, and she's in like a very weird position. Like, I mean, you kind of like talked about her as like a villain character, and like maybe, but I think like she'll be like uh, an antagonist that we can empathize with. I don't think she'll be like a goofy, like mustache twirling, like conventional bad guy. Because like I think she has some like valid reasoning. So I think it was like that was what I found most compelling about the footage we had seen, from Celebration. And it was kind of a bummer that that like wasn't really part of um, this trailer. So yeah, I don't know. This trailer, it seemed more like a like a tone piece, rather than like actually anything about like the plot or the drama. So yeah, it didn't really do much for me. I mean, I'm still like open minded for what the show's going to be, and I think we'll see something more substantial as it gets closer. Or like, who cares? Like, we can just, if we don't, like, we'll just watch the show and let the actual work speak for itself rather than the marketing.
Yeah, I was just thinking, in the past, these shows have leaned or these trailers have leaned very, very heavily into footage from just the first few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I wonder if that's going to be the case this time around. Um, it seems like to me, it seems like there's some kind of pretty big moments in this trailer and some big conflicts and stuff, like, namely the battle on the planet with the Quaking monkey lizards and the Mandalorians dropping out of the ship and all that stuff. That seems like not the kind of thing you'd see in the first few episodes of the show, but of the season. But yeah, I mean, this could totally mainly be from the first few episodes. I'm sure if nothing else, it's probably from the first half of the season, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Mandalorian is only 8 episodes. At least the first two seasons are only 8 episodes, So, um, I mean, I guess Obi-Wan Kenobi was only 6, but, Andor was 12 and Bad Batch is like, 16 or whatever. I don't know. Like when I went to, I'm on episode 7 of season 1. I'm rewatching.
Mm.
Too bad I haven't watched a little more. I'd know what the hell is going on with the Darksaber. But yeah, I'm on episode 7 of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to watch that 2-part finale or whatever you want to call it, and then move on to season 2. But I was like, when I started watching it again, I was really struck by how like it doesn't take very long to rewatch a whole season of The Mandalorian, because it's only 8 episodes. It's like watching a
Yeah.
couple movies and you're done. It's probably, I don't know, 6 hours maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember for sure, but yeah, it's not a ton. So anyway, um, yeah, like they usually like to hold back most of what's in the later episodes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess that a lot of this is from early in the season. And, that means we don't really know what to expect as it goes on.
Yeah. I think like especially for season 2, because there were so many, I guess, like bombshells within season 2 that were like not even hinted at in the trailers. Um, and that's where I was kind of saying like I'm not going to gauge my interest in this season like solely based on the marketing, because the pre-season marketing, I guess, because that's not at all representative of what the show is. I mean, even with the uh, even with the first season, like what like what we saw before episode 1 was not, like, we could not have possibly expected what the show would be, because we hadn't seen Grogu. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, so uh I mean, I'm basing my interest off of like the threads that were left hanging from the previous seasons, um and Book of Boba Fett, and then the previous footage we had seen, which it happened to include like the Bo-Katan stuff. So
Yeah.
um yeah.
Yeah, so Snoke will probably be in this season, but we'll have no way of knowing from watching this trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much sums up what you were saying there. Yeah, did I talk about whether I'm excited or not? I'm excited. I'm excited.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to it. I totally agree. Like, it doesn't really give us anything new in terms of, you know, meaty content that will, kind of give us more insight into what we can expect. But
Mhm.
um, I am pretty compelled by the the Carson Teva line. I keep going back to it, but that's really interesting to me. I love to see Din and Grogu together. Um, I am still a little. They have to win me over with, like, why did we resolve the Din Grogu separation thing so quickly? You know,
Mhm.
so I'm a little. Yeah, I'm just curious to see, like, why was that the choice? That didn't seem like necessarily the best way to create drama.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see, if watching this season will kind of answer that question for me, if it'll just be like, well, that was the choice. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Carson Teva thing, and yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a few shots in there that I think didn't look great special effects wise.
Mhm.
So we'll see if that's like, they're not finished shots, or they're gonna kind of, what's the verb,
Fix it in
spruce.
post.
Yeah, polish. I'm looking
Polish.
for the word
Yeah.
polish. If they're gonna give it a little polish, polish it up a little bit. um but yeah, overall I'm pretty excited for sure.